I was gonna stream and play video games, because I am sick, and I don't really usually like do these kind of videos where I react to the news and shit because a lot of things on the news kind of like piss you off anyway. My my blood is boiling right now. I am so yeah. I'm so sick of hearing that there's only a few bad apples in a tree. That not all officers are like this, and to be fair, maybe if I look at the grand scheme of things, not all officers are like this. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any police force in existence at all. I don't know. 9 hours ago, body cam of a Seattle Police Department officer shows that he was discussing about a graduate student that was a woman, 23-year-old woman, that was struck and killed by a patrol vehicle, I believe going like 60 something. The officer, of course it's a Kevin. God damn it. I want to make jokes about him being a Kevin, but right now is probably not the best time. However, there are a lot of Kevin jokes that I could make because I am a Kevin, and I'm not condoning any of this. Obviously, I'm saying I could make jokes. I would really like to try to loosen up the situation for myself, but right now is not the time. Kevin Dave was driving 74 miles per hour moments before the collision in I'm gonna assume in a student, area, like 20 miles an hour zone. 25 maximum, but I don't even think you should be really pushing that anyway. So the police vehicle was recorded going 74 miles per hour, and then someone reported 50 miles. Damn, that's a big difference in driving, but holy shit, in a school zone, how do you even have enough room to go 74 miles per hour? I've seen Back to the Future to go 88 like, no jokes, stop. My blood is boiling right now. That's why I'm trying to make jokes, but at the same time, this is fucking pissing me off. And it's the audio that's the most sickening part of all this. It's really the audio, the lack of empathy, concern. Just, oh, she was just a normal civilian. Just pay off the family for $11,000. They lost their daughter. A woman that has lived 23 years of her life with her loving family and has had an education, just graduated. We don't know her contributions. Maybe she was a drug dealer. We don't know. Right now, it could be speculation what she could be and what she could have been. But the value of an officer saying, yeah, just pay off the family $11,000 to avoid being sued, and then he's laughing about it like a fucking psycho-ass maniac with no empathy at all for the person that just died, is sickening and disgusting, and all those other adjectives that we've been hearing for years about officers and the law and how we want to trust police officers. We want to believe in the good of people. There are so many different stories. It's just this one's so infuriating. Again and again, we see the same shit. We call for reform. I've even seen my ex's family members who are part of the law. You know, they've shown me shit that is not even on the internet. They've talked about, like, oh, look at this man stabbing his own wife to death. He recorded it on camera to catch her cheating, but instead of turning in the footage or doing anything to, like, handle it appropriately, he goes into the room that he was recording his wife having sex with another man and stabs both her and her lover to death. Why are you showing me this shit at a fucking Christmas party? I'm trying to enjoy Christmas, you sick bastard. And he's just like, well, some people have the itch, a lot of the officers just have that itch. And it's like, what itch? What the fuck do you mean itch? Like to murder someone and then use it as, well, I'm an officer, so I get an excuse. Is that why people become cops? Because they're all fucking psychopaths and they just want that one excuse to murder someone and be like, I did it to save America. I don't know what to tell you, boy. I will never forget that Christmas, because that's also the Christmas that I got my first time getting fucking COVID. And I told her I didn't want to go to the fucking party, and I did anyway, so I can meet her family. And holy fucking shit, this is why I stay in my room. This is why I'm isolated from everyone. I don't want to meet the world. I don't want to socialize. I don't want to I don't want to hang out with people because everyone's fucking insane. Sorry, completely unrelated, but $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value. To who in comparison? To you, because you're an officer of the law and you're not even respecting the civilians that you're supposed to be defending in times like this. Another cop saw this video and he was the one that turned it in. We would have never figured this out if it wasn't for that one good apple in the overall badass, not badass, in the overall rotten tree. Bad, rotten, disgusting tree. I don't want to say badass because then the cops are going to be like, oh, we're cool. Like, no, you're fucking sick. You're disgusting. You're supposed to be adults, protector of the peace, enforcers of the law. Why the fuck were you going 74 miles per hour in a school zone and then you murder someone, take no accountability for it, and then, well, she had limited value. To who? We don't know what she did. If she just graduated, what she got a degree in, what she was looking forward to, she probably could have been a blood donator. We don't fucking know what she's done. The struggle she's been through. She has 23 years of stories to tell people that she could have told people. But now she's dead. She's fucking dead. And the first thing the cop says is she had limited value. How old was the officer? It probably says right here, but I don't give a shit to even check. The officer in this video, how old are you? How much are you valuing yourself as? It better not be a lot. Because you're a sick bastard. You think that you had any more leverage or experience or value over this person? Why? I want to know. And no, don't tell me your life story. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear your 37 plus years of living on this planet if you can't even listen for 2 seconds of this woman that died and she has 23 years of her life to tell you. No, fuck you. Tell me why you are valued or why you're valuing yourself at a much higher price point or position of like value. Why you're valuing yourself here without telling me anything about yourself. Why? Fuck you. You sick, disgusting bitch. Man. And he's probably going to get paid leave, as most of these like situations do, you know, like officers knees a man's neck for 10 minutes straight, even though you're not supposed to be doing that for more than like 30 seconds. He dies and then they joke around about his death, or like they don't care that he wasn't following the law, and it's like you weren't even following your own fucking guidelines to be a police officer to instruct force, but not like fucking homicide. I don't know what to say at this point. I'm just so infuriated. I don't think I'm making any sense at all. Oh, my lights were on. Therefore, it wasn't my fault, Your Honor. You see, I grew up as a Catholic, Roman Catholic teachings, you know, born, raised, brought up with it. I was told that we make heaven on earth, that we're supposed to love thy neighbor, treat people with respect. You know, I thought from hearing all this shit about Jesus and God and Catholicism and how much we saved people and how our religion is not superior. They never fucking fascist. They never made it sound like a fascist cult or anything, but they talked about how our religion has saved so many people, so many lives, and how it's led us to such a good path of humanity. And I was only a kid. You hear these amazing stories as a kid that if you're in trouble, you can just rely on your neighbor. If you're in trouble, that's just like the smallest amount of people in a population. And you could have faith in humanity. You can have faith in people taking care of you and respecting you and loving you. And then you grow up and you realize that it's all just bullshit. That everything is faked. Everything is just made to comfort you as a child, because you will eventually become aware of puberty. You will eventually become aware of dying one day. And it's to protect you from like, well, why is the world so dark? Why is the world so dark? All those stories, all that bullshit about heaven on earth has been so that kids don't question that much. So that way they can just continue their education that they're forced to attend anyway. Go to college, which she fucking did and graduated, and then become a contributing member to society until we die. Just a hamster on the wheel. We've been taught lies and all this bullshit through religion or some sort of mental psychology as kids. I thought the world was different when I was growing up. I really thought that there was peace on earth, that this was God's, that we were making heaven on earth, that God was protecting all of his children, but I can see why that there's so many like jokes and movies and actual other religions or non-existent religions, like atheists, that are just, they're so sick of it. I totally understand why. It's bullshit. I want to know if that cop has any sort of like Jesus medallion, if he's Mexican. I'm sure he's white from those statements, but if he's Mexican and he has like a Jesus necklace or a Jesus tattoo or a Mary Magdalene tattoo somewhere, and he's like, yeah, I'm a son of God, the officer of the law, the soldier of America. I want to see. You know what? I don't want to see this officer. I don't want to see him because then it's gonna piss me off. I don't think I made any good points in my little rant in the last 15 minutes. Holy shit, it's been 15 minutes. Basically, this is so infuriating, and I'm so fucking pissed off because you see this shit happen again and again and again. When does it stop? When does it stop? This is completely off the subject as well, but, you know, people are always, like, freaking out that kids these days aren't having enough sex or bringing kids into the world, and it's like, why the fuck would they? When we have so many people that are like this, you know? Why the fuck would people bring more kids onto this earth when there's so much rotten apples everywhere? We need to like trim the tree branches a little bit. We need to manage population a little bit because there's too many cops. There's too many people in general that do stupid, horrible, dangerous shit that have no regret, no remorse. There's people that scam people, crypto scams of like billions of dollars, and they don't give a shit. And then as soon as like someone delivers them a trophy of just a mug, they're like, oh, they're invading my privacy, my freedom of speech, my space. How dare they? These people are sick, tormented. How dare? It's like, do you have no self-awareness, self-reflection on your own fucking actions? Like, seriously? It's not that there's just a couple of rotten apples on the tree. It's just that the tree is so corrupted. It's dead, disgusting. It's been mutilated to hell. And somehow there's only been one good apple. There's been so many movies and TV shows and like parodies and cartoons and YouTube, series and whatever, where it's always like the world is shit. And there's always that one nice little flower that blooms still. And then everyone's like, oh, I still have hope on this planet. Why? Just because of one flower? You know it takes more than one fucking flower to change the entire planet? Have you not seen the Lorax? I don't know why I brought up the Lorax. Again, I'm not supposed to be joking. And then, obviously, at the end of the Lorax is a good ending because it's a kid's movie or a kid's novel. You can only type so many characters on fucking Twitter or, like, Reddit or some shit. And I don't really make these kind of videos where I'm doing, like, reactions or, like, oh, man, I'm outraged. I don't... But, man, I'm just so fucking sick of living on this planet. I'm so sick of it. I'm so jealous of people that have been able to just subtract themselves from this bullshit planet. I'm not condoning it, and I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying I'm jealous that they had that strength. Or I don't want to call it strength because then people are going to take it as something different. But, you know, for people like Etika, we've lost so many good people. So many good people. Robin Williams. They couldn't handle it anymore. And I've always wondered why couldn't they just stay longer? Why couldn't they fix things? Why couldn't they? You know, we're always talking about movies where one flower can suddenly repopulate the entire planet. That's not fully feasible, but we've always heard those stories. And when I was young and I was hearing those stories, I was like, well, why didn't they just stay longer? Why would they take their own lives? Why would they be so sick of something so beautiful like Earth? Earth is amazing. And I grow more and more and more like miserable and distressed and realizing that there is no professionalism. There is no care, no empathy. It's just bullshit. It's just stories told to us as kids so that we don't question it. I'm infuriated. Like I said, I don't know if anything I said has made any sense, if there's any contributions to my words to any of this, but I'm sick. I'm infuriated. I don't really know exactly what my point was. I just wanted to talk about this girl. My condolences to the family and to the people, especially the family, because they had to have seen this and heard this. Not just her family, but all the families before her that were affected by cops in any type of way. Yes, there are good cops. There are good people out there in general. Good black people, good white people, good Asians, good Muslims, good Catholics, good Baptists, good Jews. Like, there's... We need to stop categorizing this shit as, oh, well, of course he did that. He's black. Or of course he would say this. He's Muslim. That needs to stop. That needs to stop. We need to stop dividing into different categories. People's ethnicities, race, skin color, beliefs, lack of beliefs, if they're a furry or not. There's good people and bad people everywhere. We need to villainize just bad people in general, not the fact that we gotta stop stereotyping. We gotta stop, man. This shit needs to stop. Leave Britney alone. No. Like I said, I want a joke to relax, but I also can't really joke about the Britney Spears situation either, because that was an awful shit experience for her and for her entire life as well, on a different level. But it's still shit. It's still suffering because she's enduring it. This woman, I don't know how to pronounce the name, and I'm sorry, but this woman, she suffered in her own way, but at least there's no more suffering for her. It's not fair to her. She was taken. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Yeah, like I said, I don't really know what the point of this was. Just me being upset, angry, annoyed, infuriated, history repeating itself again and again and again. It seems like people don't live long enough to really see the patterns. And that's not like it should be coming from me either, because I'm not even that old, but I see the patterns all the fucking time. And it's ridiculous and insane that we're not learning from this shit. Nothing's changing. People reuse the same arguments day after day, years after years, and somehow it still works. Somehow it delays the justice system. People that should have been tried and sentenced to prison with full-fledged evidence that they've done something horrific, it takes like 3 to 5 years. They're still able to enjoy their freedoms for another 3 to 5 years before they're actually sentenced or put away or anything. The same thing's going to happen to this cop. You know, news breaks out now. People are outraged and infuriated by it. In 2 days, what else is going to happen, right? What other PR thing is going to happen? Pepsi makes another fucking awful commercial for the 3rd time in a row. You know? And then for some reason, people are more outraged at that one than this. This is going to be buried. And I think they know it. And I know that they know it. And they don't care. It's sad. It's miserable. It's pathetic. We have so many movies praising humanity, like, give humanity one more shot. There's something about humanity, like the Eternals movie, you know, like, they've witnessed the destruction of many other planets, many other species, but for some reason with Earth, it's just, these people are special. These people have something that I've never seen on the thousands of other planets, the billions of other lives that have died for Galactus or whatever, for the Celestials. And it's like, why? What the fuck is with Earth that in every single movie we're trying to, like, romanticize the idea that we're better than any other species when we're doing this shit to ourselves again and again and again? We have a dying planet, like, what, 5 of the 9 ozone layers or some shit, whatever they're fucking called, are destroyed. There's been a hole already that's been repaired, but for how long? We still dump shit in the oceans. Funko completely burnt and destroyed so many of their toys because no one bought them instead of just donating them or giving them away. So much food thrown away and wasted that could be made into, like, the world record largest salad on the planet. But because people don't want to donate it because that costs money rather than giving it to people that need the food, that are starving, they're just like, yeah, let it rot. Throw it in the garbage. It's not like anyone's going to eat it. We do this shit to ourselves. How many times have we accidentally dropped, like, hydrogen bombs on Earth?
By the way, the bomb is still there, lodged about 50 meters under the field. After the bomb fell on the field, there was a flash flood, which meant that it couldn't be recovered. So to make sure that no one could dig up the bomb, the US military placed a 120-meter diameter slab of concrete over the whole area.
Somehow they didn't go off, but they should have. And we're still alive. We had so many fucking close calls with nuclear warheads from our own stupidity and destruction. Somehow we're still alive. And then the moral of the story of all this shit, World War II, we've had the Vietnam War, 20 years of, oh my God, COVID strains mutating constantly, and then people are just like, nah, fuck all that. My American freedoms say no masks. There's so many things that pile up on each other. You know, disaster after disaster after disease after self-inflicted pain after, let alone all the like natural disasters, you know, like hurricanes and shit. There's so many bad things going on in the world that we just keep adding to the pile of stupidity. And then people are like, but money though. Well, I can't care about those poor people. I need money. How is Coca-Cola supposed to keep running if we're constantly donating the sodas that are about to expire to the homeless people that need anything in their lives? No available water, food. Why would we donate any of our salads? Just throw it away, says Olive Garden. That doesn't make money. Businesses are not built on morals. They're built on business. Money. Anything that makes money. Even if it's LGBTQ Pride Month. Obviously, people have pointed this out. Even if it's like, oh, we recycle now. Look at us. We're finally recycling. Look at how good we are. They didn't give a shit that long ago. They're doing it now as a PR stunt. They don't give a fuck. It's going to make them the most money because that's where people's attention are now. If they really truly gave a fuck, they would have done this shit a long time ago when they've noticed it. And they talked about it internally with their companies. I'm sorry about making this story about her, about other shit that's wrong with this planet. But this is a contribution to it. Her life is gone, wasted, taken, stolen, just thrown into the garbage. And then the cops are like, yeah, throw money at it. Yeah. I don't want to get sued. I'm just an officer. My position is more important than this one, than this woman's who died on my watch. It's insane how lucky and how fortunate we have been as a species to be born in the universe, to have had so many wars, popped so many holes in our ozone layers. How many times we should have been dead by now, and we're probably not going to last another 100 years. I can already tell from the fucking coal industry, the pollution, the lack of care, people wanting to be TikTokers instead of doctors or scientists to fix this shit. I can already tell we're not going to last that long. I've already accepted that fact that we will be dying soon, and it's miserable. I'm so sick of movies that are like romanticizing the idea that humans are special and they have something about them that oomph, you know, they can survive. Like, even if we survive, it's only going to be the rich people because they had the money. It's not going to be the smart people that deserved it. It's not going to be the scientists that have earned it. It's not going to be for the people that have donated their fucking O-negative blood to hospitals that really need it, and in a worldwide shortage of blood donation. Those people are not going to survive. Those people are going to get left behind. Their work is going to propel the rich people to get off this planet and possibly survive. But they're going to be left behind. They're used as cannon fodder. They're garbage. They're waste. And the people in these positions know about it. And they don't give a fuck. As long as people are distracted and money keeps coming in slowly and people forget about it over time, that's all they care about. There's not an active revolution all the time to stop something. Same thing with the writer's strike. This isn't like super related, but you know what the people at Warner Brothers said. They're fine with losing $500 million just so that they don't pay their writers or their actors. Again, not related to death, murder, suffocating the oceans, killing off everything, microplastics in our fucking bloodstreams now. We're born with radiation. Not related to any like disasters, but the thought process of I would rather lose $500 million than pay my workers equally. That's the mindset that is in all of these businesses. Again, they're built on money. They're not built on morals. There has never been a single company that has been built on morals. As humans, we're fucked. I don't want no one to preach the world is nigh. The end of the world is coming. I don't want people to do that stupid shit. Yeah, I accept the fact that we're fucked. We're all gonna die one day. Nothing really matters. We could do our best to save everything, but there's gonna be the majority of people in those higher ranking positions that we will never touch. As peasants, we're just peasants. We will never touch those positions to really make a change in the world. And I would love to challenge someone on that. Any billionaires or millionaires, I would love to challenge someone who's already in those positions, who's already leading all the industries, all of the oil industries, all of the the snacks industry, I guess. I don't even know what to fucking call it. The productions industries, smelting gold, casting metals, microchips, I would love to see the person in the highest position possible grow a heart like the Grinch on Christmas Day and just be like, yeah, this shit needs to stop and I'm gonna stop it. Then they'll be the real superhero. They'll be the Superman but without the cape or flying or super strength or laser beams or frozen breath, unless they eat a Tic Tac. But 33 minutes of me just ranting. Sorry. Insane news. 33 minutes of me just being pissed off. Rest in peace to this person and to all the people before her and to all the people absolutely 100% guaranteed after her. Because we all know this isn't going to stop. We all know this is going to keep going. Whether it's purposeful or an accident, it's going to happen again. I would rather see an accident and then a very remorseful cop for his actions. Not that he got caught, but because he genuinely felt bad for the loss of a human life. I would feel much better seeing that than this jackass. Whoever this guy is, I don't want to see his face. I don't want to know his name. I don't want to know his age. Fuck that asshole that killed her. And the cop that was laughing, trying to pay off the family with $11,000. Because that's all she was valued as to him. Fuck you.